I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. The Chinese virus.
China is a very popular target in American politics. Many, many years ago, it was Japan, by the way. If you recall, back in the 80s, Japan played the role. And it does make you think that there's a kind of demonology available for Asian Americans to face in the international arena that has to have a country behind it.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country.
Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
Asian Americans face the stereotype of being considered foreigners in their own land.
We are back with an unexpected side effect of this coronavirus crisis: Asian Americans becoming targets of discrimination.
During my first year on the city council, I remember walking through the City Hall rotunda where there was a display of historical items, including minutes from the city council meeting in LA dating 100 years earlier, back in 1885. And by random, the pages of the minutes were opened up to a page that showed the city council debate over whether the presence of Chinese immigrants was a threat to the public health.
Migrants are often likened to parasites, an invasive population, a plague, an invisible threat like pathogens. Immigrants have been stigmatized for being carriers of dangerous diseases and contagion that are dangerous to Americans.
The culture where people eat bats and snakes and dogs and things like that.
So many of these remarks are based in misunderstanding of facts and science, but also based in xenophobia and racism.
In the 19th century, one of the most popular forms of culture were the minstrel stage. There will be a stock Chinese character, typically male, typically wearing one of those coolie hats, made up in yellow face makeup, speaking with in pidgin English, a very degrading stereotype of Chinese people. But it was very common for this stock character, this John Chinaman, to represent and to express these stereotypes about Chinese eating indigestible and polluting foods, sending this message that if they were eating these weird diseased animals, that they themselves as a people were also filthy and polluting.
It was because of this stereotype where it's easy for people to believe that Asian Americans would be foreigners in their own land, even if they have been here for generations.
Born in the United States of America, born in New York, so I'm an American. It's the only country I know. It's the people I know. It's the nation that I love. And to have others say you're not part of your homeland was painful.
That because your face looks different, therefore you must have been born in a different country, and who may ask in a completely well-intentioned way, well, what language do you really speak?
I'm very fortunate to live in Los Angeles, being one of the most diverse cities in the nation. And not only diverse, but very progressive. Not to say discrimination does not exist, of course it does, but it's very more in subtle ways. So every day, many a times when people come to me and ask me, hey, where are you from? They don't mean, did you grow up in Burbank? Did you grow up in Los Angeles? And when I say, oh, I'm from LA, they say, no, where are you really from? But a question like that for myself, being an immigrant myself, I understand what they're asking of my background, my heritage, my birthplace. But during the campaign, because we live in such a progressive city, it was less of that. More than anything, when I knocked on people's doors, they thought I was a real estate agent.